Hey everybody, Daver here, and welcome to the show. Welcome Chad, welcome Chandler, and everyone out there, don't you forget, elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and please leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking, anything, let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. How about you take that subscribe button and you throw it over the top rope? Because what are we talking about?
Rumble going in the Wayback Machine. I was 12. Dave was.
Um, 7.
Chandler?
Not alive.
Dave.
1992 WWF Royal Rumble. What a ride, man. This was fun. Really fun. I think before we went off the air on our last podcast and we were talking about this, didn't you, Chandler, make a comment about Ric Flair or something? And I didn't understand what it meant. Was that like
Maybe.
clearly it was Ric Flair won this?
Yeah.
Probably.
It was a pretty infamous one where, he basically went the distance. He wasn't 1 or 2, he was 3, but still impressive. And he stayed pretty active the whole match. Like, it was fun. And then the promo after was like one of his more iconic and with a tear in the eye. Like, it was pretty one of the like probably more iconic Ric Flair moments, I would think.
Yeah, it was great. And like all the big names that were here, like this is like the golden age for me, like pre-Attitude Era. No Rock, no Stone Cold. Shawn Michaels was a baby. uh, yeah, man, this was a freaking ride, man. And I liked how instead of like, okay, entrant comes in, and most of the time in modern times everyone's laying down, or like two people fight when the entrant comes in, or like the new entrant would like do their shit to everyone. And like it was more like back then, like the entrant came in and everyone was just still fighting, and
Yeah,
like it wasn't like I don't know, I like that,
yeah.
something about it.
No, they didn't even play entrance music. It was just like, oh, who's coming out? And like they just kind of either slow jogged or snuck, or in Repo Man's case,
Dude,
sneaked.
Repo Man, oh my god, loved it. Loved the Repo Man. But yeah, this was quite a fun time. It was like 4 different matches in one for me, like different iterations of who were in there and who wasn't, and like it was really great. Commentary was fantastic.
Oof.
Bobby the Brain and Gorilla Monsoon. Dude, Bobby the Brain Heenan was on another level during this, like simping for Flair the whole time. Like, I'll never do anything wrong again. Just let Flair win. And like
Hmm.
he's so worried about Flair losing. It's like, somebody get me something to drink. I need something to drink.
Yeah, he's like, I need to calm down. I need some medication. And then I wasn't it girl Monsoon was like, yeah, you'll need that medication.
Yeah, man, it was
Uh,
so good, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. There were only, let's see, 2 people, 1 person I'd never seen ever, and that was Skinner.
yeah, that one had me
Never
scratching my head too.
never heard of, never saw in my life. Berserker, I think maybe like in like some kind of like countdown, or like some kind of weird vague things I've seen. Other than that, I think I've, heard of and seen every other entrant. We got a little baby Shawn Michaels, baby Roddy Piper. Macho Man looked like a freaking cruiserweight. He was so tiny in there, dude. It was insane. I popped hard, yeah, for the Macho Man. He was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
Taker was like almost a completely different dude too, it feels like.
Yeah, it's crazy to go back and watch Undertaker like actually being an Undertaker. Like it was well like it's weird describing the kayfabe of the Undertaker in the later years because he was a dead man, but he was mostly just a good wrestler, right? He just
Yeah.
happened to be a dead man, and like once a year he'd bring out lightning. But like, nah, they were doing that shit all the time back then. So it was funny to see him. And Paul Bearer was out there, and he's like, "Oh!" with the urn, he's going crazy. Yeah, it was so weird seeing all these people who I've heard of for years. There's a lot of people that I'll get to later, but this was the first time I've ever seen them wrestle.
Wow.
Yeah. I like how the Undertaker, like his whole shtick was to like move slow, no sell, and choke.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
easiest wrestling gig ever.
Yep, super great, man. But yeah, I thank you, Chad, for picking this. I had a ton of fun. I did actually catch one more match on the card: Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon versus Legion of Doom. That was really fun
Right.
too. Typhoon is uh, somehow related to Cody Rhodes, and he was the who's the guy who fell down through the wall?
Shockmaster.
He was the Shockmaster.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I had fun. I hit play on the thing, then I was like, I'll just go skip through till I find the rumble. Then I was like, oh well, there's Owen Hart. And then all of a sudden before you know it, I was just watching the entire show because it was like all tag teams except for Roddy winning the Intercontinental Championship. And I was like, oh, Bushwhackers. I love those guys. They're hilarious. And then I was like, I enjoyed the whole dang show. It was really good.
Yeah. Did you look it up, Chandler?
apparently, he's Cody Rhodes' uncle.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. Uh, yeah, cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of it. Um, and like modern day rumbles, I had more like when I take my notes, like I have an entrant and like what they did. Like it was a pretty significant thing. Like that didn't really happen a lot for this. It wasn't like someone came in and they hit their finisher or they interacted with this person. Like it was just like everyone was just fighting. So like there wasn't as much like of that. You know what I mean?
It felt more real in a way, which, being for the WWF title kind of helped it, where it's like, this isn't like, I think even before this, it wasn't even for the title shot at Mania. It was just, we're going to have a 30-man match. Because I think Hogan won it for 2 years and he was champ. But, um, so it's just kind of crazy to see the difference. But that's just very commonly how they book Rumbles now is someone comes out, Ludwig Kaiser, he hits a spear, he hits his finisher, he taunts, and then someone who's running rampant and is going to get more elimination knocks him down, and that's like 80% of the Rumble entrance. And then there's like the surprises, and then there's your main eventers. And the only things that's changed is that WWE, at least in the men's division, have a lot more main eventers than they did a couple years
Yeah.
ago. So people tend to get more spots or longer times, but it doesn't feel like at least this Rumble where it felt more real. It felt like people were just like, I need that title, man. This is life changing.
Yeah.
So
I
Yeah. It
felt
was
like there
fun.
was
Oh, go
a
ahead.
lot more like desperate, like trying to dump people over. Like it seemed like more like higher stakes, obviously, because of the title, but like there's a whole lot more to that. Like every like 10 seconds, someone would be like trying to, and they're like, catching themselves on the
Yeah.
ropes or putting
Yeah.
their hand down on the other side.
Yeah, yeah, that the British Bulldog spot, like him just holding himself like that, he did it for a while too. I was like, God damn, that was one beefy boy.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, speaking of the British Bulldog, he is our number one entrant, followed by the Million Dollar Man, Ted
Money,
DiBiase.
money,
They
money.
got their theme music. Let's see. Yeah, and then after that, no more theme music. So DiBiase is eliminated immediately by the British Bulldog. Number three, we got Ric Flair. He'll be a
Woo!
pretty integral part of this rumble. British Bulldog, Gorilla Press Slam Slayer, like a freaking Greek god. Like, oh my, and he just like it was insane.
It was silly, but it was really like this British Bulldog guy. Why didn't they do more with him? He was great, especially in this time.
Yeah.
Yep, this was so wrestling. Number four, one half of the Nasty Boys, Nasty Boy Sags. And it made me wonder, like, how come the other guy didn't? I think it was Knobs is the
Yeah.
other guy.
Yep. Knobs.
Uh, Brian Knobs.
Well, it was it was
Uh,
it was Brian Knobs or Jim Duggan. So you get to pick that one, Dave.
yeah. Duggan was super over.
Yeah,
USA.
I didn't know, and like all you had to do was like, "Come on, guys," and then I'll go USA. You like I know it's a joke that you don't have to try that hard to get a group of people to chant USA, but holy crap, it was even easier in 1992.
It was. Oh man. So weirdly enough, Sags and Flair kind of team up on the British Bulldog. But the British Bulldog eliminated Sags. Number five, we got Haku in there. He's a badass. Who are his kids? Toa fucking whatever. The the
Toa
gorilla
Hong
gorillas.
I'm just gonna look it up. Haku's kids. Oh, Gorillas of Destiny.
But British Bulldog eliminates Haku.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. What'd you hit, Chandler? Dave's gone.
I didn't hit anything. I was looking up Honko's kids. He's in AEW.
Oh, Dave's back-ish.
Hello?
There he
Hello.
is.
Yeah. I don't even, but where were we? British Bulldog eliminates Haku after just entering. Number six, we got little baby Shawn Michaels. He's a little young guy. That couldn't have been much longer after he turned on Janetti, right?
Yeah, it happened like right before that. The earlier on in the show, they actually like ran a package about that happening. It was like
On Piper's
a
Pit.
week or two before that. Yeah,
No, it's the
Barbershop.
barbershop.
yeah. That was a moment that was etched in my head. In fact, I put that in one of those short videos there. One of my top moments.
Oh, yeah. Number seven, we got the El Matador, Tito Santana. Number eight, we got Barbarian. Then we got number nine, Kerry Von Erich, working with part of one foot somehow. Didn't even look like he was in trouble.
He's crazy.
Yeah, dude, he looked like a freaking WWF
Yeah,
superstar, dude. He was probably the most worthy of being in the WWF of all the Von Erichs. Like
Yeah.
he had it. He was good at promos. He had the look. He had the skill. Um, yeah, it just kind of made me think about the Iron Claw movie. How sad that was.
right.
Mhm.
In that movie, he lost his whole foot. They like overly like dramatized it or whatever. But it was only like part of the foot, I believe. Number 10, Repo Man. I finally get it,
Yeah.
Simon Miller. I finally get it, man. He's
Mhm.
skulking and sneaking, and dude, it was the most pro wrestling shit I've ever seen, dude. It was awesome. Like over the
The whole
top
time I was
cartoon
watching it
character.
too, I was like, this was part of Demolition too. Like I just couldn't put two and two together. I'm like, I know it's the same guy, but it is not the same guy.
Mm-mm.
He was
Nah.
just a freaking cartoon character.
Yeah. Repo Man was he's pretty funny to see. And didn't he get like knocked out immediately? Poor guy.
He had a few eliminations, I thought. Yeah. So Repo Man, then we got Greg the Hammer Valentine. That just made me think about his dog collar match with Piper. and then that made me think of MJF and CM Punk.
Now let's go back to
uh,
CM Punk.
I don't know.
Can I put him in the
Number
thumbnail now?
yeah. Number 12, Nikolai Volkov, and he's eliminated by the Repo Man.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
he eliminated Valentine and Volkov. So he went on a little crazy streak there.
yeah. Number 13, Big Boss Man. He must have been a face at that point because he got cheered and he was like taking everyone out. Yeah, he unloads on every entrant. Yeah, the Repo Man eliminates Valentine. Uh, Big Boss Man's eliminated by the Repo Man.
Damn.
Oh,
Dude, and I'm
the
like, oh my god,
heat.
like the Repo Man is like kicking ass here. That was pretty fun. Uh, then before we get the next guy in, Flair eliminated the British Bulldog finally, first guy in. And Kerry Von Erich. Uh, Shawn Michaels and Santana basically eliminate themselves. I think like one guy, Shawn Michaels, hit Santana and they both went over. Number 14, we had Hercules. He eliminates the Barbarian. Uh, then Big Boss Man immediately eliminates Hercules. There's like that happened a lot, kind of like you come in and you're immediately eliminated. Flair eliminates the Big Boss Man. Then we got number 15, Rowdy Roddy Piper, dude. He was so young, dude. He is coming off a fresh win of the IC title earlier on in the night. He was terrorizing Flair, dude. He basically like aren't that many people in the ring, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah,
Was it just
there
the
was a
two of
pretty
them?
good stretch of eliminations because not long after they ended up having like a little mini one-on-one match too, which that
Yep.
was probably my
I
favorite part of the whole thing was that little one-on-one Flair Rowdy moment. I was loving it.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, like, didn't, like, Piper chase him around the ring on the
Yeah.
outside and, uh, got him in the sleeper, and then Jake the Snake comes in as number 16. Initially, he just sits down and just kinda watches Piper with Flair in the sleeper, but then he, like, gets in the action. That was super fun. It was cool to see Jake the Snake, like, young and agile and, like,
Yeah, right?
looking like a wrestler. Pretty cool. 17. Ayo! Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's got the 2x4. I like how they're like, he can't take that in the ring. And he like puts it down.
Mhm.
Uh, and like at this point, I wrote down like this feels like a completely new match. Like it just everyone filtered out, and now it's like a whole new thing. It was really cool. Number 18, IRS, the father of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. That was pretty cool. 19, Jimmy Snuka. I never really liked him, and I think he like did something bad to his wife or something. Uh,
Allegedly.
he got
Um.
away with it.
Yeah. He ended his wife in like the 1980s or so, and got found out right around 2015. Because
Yeah,
I remembered seeing him getting scrubbed from all the WWE archives, and it was like, ah, well, yeah, probably a good idea.
yeah. Uh, but anyway, number 20, we got the Undertaker, the Dead Man, Paul Bear coming out like you said. Like, ooh, fucking love it, dude.
Love it.
It's so
Crazy
good.
painted on eyebrows. What is going on?
It's a
Oh,
different
it's so
time.
good. Yeah, dude. Undertaker comes in. He's on a mission. He's eliminates Snuka. He starts going after Flair. He chokes him. 21, Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. He is a little guy compared to all these other people. He looks like a cruiserweight to me. He looked like and moved like a cruiserweight. Uh, so he eliminates Jake the Snake because they're feuding at the time.
Yeah.
Is that uh kind of what you were talking about with the snake biting Macho Man? Is that the same
Yeah.
era?
Oh man, he was terrorizing him forever. He like crashed him and Miss Elizabeth's wedding, and he hit her once, and it was nuts. It got fucked up.
How could you, Jake?
So yeah, dude. So Macho Man eliminates Jake, but then I thought he eliminated himself.
He
But
did. They even said that. Then he just jumped back in and kept going, even though he was technically eliminated.
yeah, and they had to like reiterate, like, oh, he wasn't actually thrown out by another participant, so it didn't count. But modern times that counts, right?
Oh yeah, it was like
Like you can,
it's like the
didn't
fifth
the Iron
Rumble.
Sheik do that or something?
No, the Iron Sheik. So what? It was the gimmick battle royale at WrestleMania 17. He won because he couldn't take the bump, and so they just didn't throw him out.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
People
something
have
like
eliminated themselves because they didn't want to
oh,
deal with
Mil Mascaras. That was like I think it was next. It was 1993 or 1994. But like he went on a little run and he threw someone out and he jumped on the top rope and did a crossbody and they're like, oh, I guess he just eliminated himself.
Yep. So it like mattered then, but not here. Who knows? It was a little confusing. That was my like Penta controversy of this Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
Uh, so he attacks Jake Roberts, but they let him back in. Uh, the Undertaker at this point no sells a low blow from Ric Flair. I'm like, okay, all right. I guess you don't
he's
have nuts if you're dead.
exactly. He's a skeleton under there for all we know. All we see is the little bits of skin. So he's just smooth.
Like Ken Mill.
22. Yeah. 22, the Berserker. Don't know much about this guy. 23, Virgil. Do you guys know why he's called Virgil?
It's
Ooh.
Dusty Rhodes, right?
Yeah, Virgil Runnels.
Well, then when he went
Uh,
to WCW, his name was Vincent.
yep, I love it. I actually liked Virgil like as a wrestler, like with Ted DiBiase, and like I liked his matches in WCW when he was in the NWO. I'm actually a big fan of his early work, but then he like got pretty washed up and like he's actually no longer with us, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly. But yeah, Virgil's cool. I've always been a big fan. I did always wish they made a Virgil action figure, WCW action figure back in the day. They never did. There's a handful that I wish they made that they didn't. The old Toy Biz action figures. They never made a Eddie Guerrero, a Kurt Hennig, a Virgil, few other ones I wish existed, but nothing I can do about that. Number 24, Mustafa, and we all know him as the Iron Sheik. This is when he was like that Iraqi, like
Yeah.
anti-American gimmick against like Hulk Hogan and stuff, I think.
yeah. We're 1 year removed. Like 1 year earlier was when Sergeant Slaughter was with Colonel Mustafa,
Uh-huh.
which is like I knew like Sergeant Slaughter was coming out later, and I was like, I don't think they're gonna mention it, right? Where he was an Iraqi, sympathizer during the Gulf War. That's such a bad idea.
It got the heat, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Wrestling's
Uh,
weird.
it's so weird. Anyway, number 25, the model Rick Martel. And I'm pretty sure he like was originally married to Sherry Martel, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys know? Like that's where she got her foot in the door. But I don't think they were together at this point. Which Sherry came out with Ted
Ted
DiBiase,
DiBiase.
right? Yeah, yeah, she was looking pretty good. Uh, so yeah, Rick Martel, Mustafa is eliminated by the Macho Man. Number 26. Oh brother, this worked for him. Hulk Hogan. He comes out. He eliminates the Undertaker. What? And the
Gong.
Berserker.
Gong.
Virgil and Jim Duggan eliminate each other. We got number 27, the acclaimed superstar Skinner.
Max Caster. Oh,
When's he getting in WWE 2K25? He's got. Why isn't he on the cover? Roman who? I'm on Skinner.
Like the only thing I know about him is what they said, something about him skinning alligators or something.
That must have
Like
been his gimmick.
I don't know. He was so like, he just looked like a hobo.
He went out in jeans and like a plaid T-shirt, but like, don't worry, it had the sleeves torn off, so he
oh,
was.
thank God.
We know he's badass.
Don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but I kind of maybe want to do some research on it. Number 28, Sergeant Slaughter. At this point, Skinner is eliminated by Rick Martel. We got number 29, Sid Justice. Ooh, yeah. He, I'm a big fan of Sid. He actually died last year.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Um, number 20 or number 30, final participant, the Warlord. And that was kind of weird thing about this. Like you already knew who was in it.
Yeah.
So like when you got to 30, they were like, "Oh, well, we know who this is gonna be." Like that's one thing I really kind of didn't like about it. The only thing I didn't like is like
I never,
you knew.
I never like it when Rumbles get to the last entrant and you don't know who it is. That's what this year's Rumble was, where it was like, oh, 30's Logan Paul. Really? That's who we're saving this all for, is Logan Paul. But it's been done smart one time, and it was the first Rumble Cody won. And it was because people really wanted Sami Zayn to win. So, but it was like Cody Rhodes is coming back in the Rumble, and people want Sami Zayn to win it. But Sami Zayn, the plan just wasn't for him to win it, so they didn't even have him in the Rumble. And you get to 29, and it's not Cody, and you're like, oh, well, the big return is Cody at 30. So it kind of all was fine in the end. So it can be done all right, but I do agree with you, and especially like if your number 30 is the Warlord, really? Like,
Yeah.
that's worse than waiting for 30 for Logan Paul.
Yeah. Should have been Nikki Bella.
Yeah, that's a number 30 entrant.
Ugh. So yeah, number 30, the Warlord. I like kind of know who this guy was, but not like well. I've heard the name and kind of I like he might have gone by a different gimmick at some point that I would have known that better. Um, but so we got all the participants have been entered. Hogan suplexes Flair on the floor. Sid eliminates Sergeant Slaughter. Roddy Piper eliminates IRS. Sid and Hogan eliminate the Warlord together. Sid eliminates Piper and Martel. Sid Justice eliminates Randy Savage. Then he eliminates Hogan. Ooh.
Didn't work
That's
for him,
crazy.
brother.
And we'll
Yep.
see how it didn't work for him, my
So
brother.
now we're down to Sid and Flair. Uh, Somehow Sid like reaches over the top rope and Hogan grabs his arm like a little bitch. And Flair takes advantage of it and just scoops up and whoop eliminates Sid. Flair wins, man. Over an hour. Right? Or was
Yeah,
he
it
over
was
an
like
hour?
it was just like basically an hour and 1 minute he was in there.
Oh my gosh, dude. Flair wins it. Sid and Hogan get in each other's faces. They get separated. They're mad at each other. Kind of taking the shine away from Flair a little bit on that. I didn't really love that. But yeah, Flair is the man. Does this little promo press conference, getting presented with the belt. He yeah, cuts a promo. He's got Bobby the Brain there. He's got Mr. Perfect there. It was great, man. The promo was classic Flair. Uh, yeah, absolutely loved it. I thought it was great, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, yeah. All in
Yeah.
all, fun match.
Yeah, really held up. My kind of opinions or whatever, it's like some funny things I didn't or realized. So all the people I didn't know, let's count them out. I did not know the Barbarian. I didn't know Kerry Von Erich was the Texas Tornado. I knew he was a WWE, and I knew he got a crappy gimmick. Was he the Red Rooster too? And that was just
No.
later on.
Yeah.
No, okay. Um, so I'm not gonna count Texas Tornado because I did know that Kerry Von Erich was in WWE. Hercules, I didn't know who that was. Berserker and Skinner, of course, but that's common for this whole one. And the Warlord. So there's a whole lot of just the gimmicks that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know who the hell this is, but yeah, like this is my first British Bulldog, Ted DiBiase, um, Tito Santana, Repo Man, Greg Valentine, like all these people. It's my first time seeing them wrestle, and not, I don't think any of them disappointed, mostly because they were in there for like a minute, like or they were like active for a
Yeah.
minute or so, except for like Ric Flair, which obviously he was amazing throughout this whole thing. But yeah, I really loved right what you guys were talking about, where Ric Flair threw everyone out and he was waiting for the next one, and I was like, "Oh, who is it gonna be?" And then the crowd blew up for Roddy, and they had their own little mini match right before everyone else kind of started getting in the ring. It's really fun. And yeah, just Hogan kind of making it all about him at the end, which just sucks, but like that's kind of just the thing that Hogan did. But also, I would argue that Hogan got the biggest pop of the night, so he's still the most popular guy in the WWF.
Yeah.
I know that's not going to last that much longer, but I don't know. And then with that Sid Justice stuff at the end, it's kind of crazy that even in 1992 they did the Rumble booking for Mania. Like even so early on, they were like, "Ah, we got to book to Mania. We'll start here. We'll get this Hogan Justice feud going, and then move on." And then it's like, you had a really interesting WWF champion in Ric Flair, and you didn't have many ideas. But then they did Flair and Savage, which everyone says is a good match. I've never seen it, but there's no way it's a bad one.
Nah, true. Yeah, I love how many Flair flops we got. Just get his bell rung. And you're like, I'm fine. I'm not fine.
He's tired. He's a
Yeah.
sleepy boy. He's in there for
Every time he did it, I popped. I love it. I love it when he does that. I don't know why. It's cheesy and hokey, but it's hilarious.
he was in there for he was almost in there for an hour flat. It was an hour and 2 seconds.
Damn, that's so cool. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, the end of it too with Bobby the Brain and Kurt Hennig were like, once they're like, let's woo together. And they're just like, woo. Uh, and then they both said something along the lines of, we didn't want to, or but we told you so at the same time. I like
Mhm.
that. Uh, yeah, that was weird watching Mr. Perfect uh, being with Ric Flair. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that at that time. It was weird.
Yeah. I think that
But
might have been
yeah.
when he was starting to get those back and shoulder problems, so he wasn't wrestling so much. So they were just finding like cool stuff for him to do, if I remember correctly.
It like makes sense though later when like Kurt Hennig in WCW was gonna join the Four Horsemen and like
Oh
because
yeah.
of their history together and like then he turned on him and joined the NWO. That was cool. I love that.
How
Love that
could he?
era.
What an evil bastard, man.
Yep. But yeah, man, there were 15 out of the 30 people ended up going to WCW at some point after this. Uh, and I wasn't sure on Valentine. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he was in WCW at some point. I don't know if it was
Huh.
after this or before it, but yeah. Um yeah, really great. Really enjoyed it. now I don't know if we're gonna watch Collision next week or if it. What are we gonna do, gentlemen?
Well,
Yeah, I know.
okay.
I hear they've been good. What do you think? Do we switch to keep going with reviews or go to Collision?
Well, actually, there is no collision this week, so we don't even got to worry about it. It's Grand
Uh,
Slam Australia. So,
Well, we're reviewing that.
yeah. Maybe we wait until the next collision, like we just see the card, and if the card interests us, we can cover it. Or if it's like, it's Jericho and Moxley in the main event. Dave,
watching
do you
that.
do you have your next retro view picked out?
Is it me again already?
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
We've just
Um,
we've just been very spacing these out because it was a big gap, and then it was me doing Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, and then it was a little bit of a gap because Royal Rumble got in the way, and then we did Chad's. So now we're on to you.
yeah, I gotta make sure I know which pay-per-view it was, but it was DDP Macho Man 2. So we watched uh Halloween Havoc 97, and there
Hmm.
was a DDP Macho Man match on that one, but that was just their first match. Um, I gotta figure out Spring Stampede. That's the one.
Cool.
Uh, 97 Spring Stampede Macho Man DDP.
Hell yeah, that'll be fun. Another little blast from the past.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've picked like 3 WWF matches in a row without a
Nice.
WCW, so I'd like to go back to a classic WCW. But yeah, this was a freaking amazing match. Um, but yeah, that's what I want to do. So we'll figure out what we want to do with the collision after Grand Slam based on the card. We will be coming at you guys out there with a Slam review. And yeah, well, I guess we've got a Dynamite in between
Yep.
Grand Slam
Yeah.
now and Grand Slam. So, and I'm looking, yeah, Dynamite card looks good too. I got no
Ooh.
quarrels with that one.
Gonna have to watch the Guns get killed by the the Hurt Syndicate, so that'll be
It's
sad.
all right. It's all right.
It'll be
I'm okay
fun.
with it.
I like it.
Let let them like get some shit in. That's
Yeah.
really all I ask.
Give
Don't
them
make it a squash.
do 1-3-10 to Yuma and Shelton Benjamin and be like, oh my gosh, is this at 1-2? Lashley breaks it up. Spear, 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 spear. Shelton does a little super kick and it's over.
I'm fine with that. I'm actually really, yeah, forgot about that match. Looking forward to it. I'm ready for the Hurt Syndicate to just have a reign of terror.
Yeah, that'll be
Who could
fun.
even like come back at like after the Guns? Who's next?
Edge and Christian.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
always like my long haul where it's like I don't know, this person's probably gonna have a long run and we're nowhere near them losing it. Edge and Christian.
You
Nice.
should let the Outrunners take a crack at it.
I don't want to see them lose because it'd kill me if I saw Bobby Lashley squash the Outrunners. So I want the Outrunners to squash Bobby Lashley. That's the only thing I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Grit your teeth. Wait, those guys still there?
Who?
They were at Jericho Cruise. They're in Ring of Honor. They're doing
Yeah,
Ring of
yeah,
Honor shit.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I was just, but right before we started recording, I was actually watching the bit on the Jericho cruise because Enzo came out and they did the thing. You can't teach that.
He really didn't get a big pop either.
No.
He's not popular. He's kind of a piece of shit. Allegedly. Um, he's allegedly done things to women that allegedly are not good. and I don't want to go into full details because I don't know the full details, but
like butt stuff.
maybe, but not kindly. So I don't know. It was a little surprising to see him out there, and they just did their gimmick again. But also, it's like, it's a cruise. It's like a Saudi event. It's not
Right.
canon.
I heard Joe Hendry tried his hardest to make it to the cruise
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the
He had
Rumble.
visa things. He was supposed to meet up with them in like Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. That's the
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah.
yeah, then apparently not all his paperwork was in order and he couldn't get into the country.
That really
Yeah.
sucks for him. But I don't know. He did get to be in the Rumble, which again, if I had to pick,
Yeah.
it's not an easy choice. It's an easy choice.
70,000 people singing your song.
Yeah. Or 200 drunk people on Jericho's cruise. Not that I am slogging the cruise. I'm sure it's a great time. But and it like
yeah,
all
when
the
it first
clips
started up,
were
I kept
fun.
like trying to find a way to go do it. It sounded fun.
Now, I mean, now it's Jericho, so like it's got a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but Osprey was there and MXM, like there are some good stuff. And then if Jericho's out, you just go do something else. It's a cruise, right? There's gotta be other things to do.
Why can't like Sting make a cruise?
That's true. Maybe he should like it's Sting and Jericho. Half is Jericho, half is Sting, and you get to pick what side you want to go to.
How about the Hulk Hogan brother cruise?
Nah, who's gonna go, brother? Nothing
Might sing.
but real American beer.
Gross.
Bet you'd see a lot of
Oh,
McGaw
man.
hats there.
Yep, you would. Cool. Yeah, that was fun. Really fun Rumble. Good pick, Chad.
Yay!
It was so classic, like old WWF. Like that was the era where I was like into that stuff. Like I didn't even know what WCW was
Yeah.
at that point. So yeah, that was great, man. Cool. I think that just about does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we'll be coming back at you with a Dynamite review and a Grand Slam review, and we'll touch base on the future of our retro views if Collision gets good again. Cool. All right. Well, doing the thing.
Do it.
That thing. Do that thing.
Hey.
Hip hip cheerio.
Bye bye.
Ah.